Hi everybody, Snake here, and I've got a special video for you today. Special because I'm doing a 3-star. Normally I'm in the 5 stars. I do still have a 4-star video coming for you about War Defense, but why a 3-star? Well, I'll tell you why, and it's because I am seeing an abundance of Treevilles popping up. Yes, the Avalon family plant is showing up in wars. And I understand if you are a beginner alliance, certainly he's going to be there in Rush Wars. He's by far the best option that you've got. But my alliance, currently, right now, we're sitting at 147 globally, is our rank. So there's a lot of there's a lot of diverse 5 stars, some really deep lineups at that level. 3 stars are normally unheard of. But like I said, lately we're seeing a lot of them. The war that just went by for Rush, there was 14 of them in there. And then the last set of Rush Wars that we did, there was 12 of them. And then a couple others here and there. And it's a strange phenomenon. I understand. Hey, we got the tournament going on right now. It's a Rush 3-star, and Holy's not allowed. It's flooded with Treevilles, and you're probably actually sick of hearing about them right now. But I'm going to go into this because there's two camps, two trains of thought on whether Treeville should be in those wide open wars on a defense team, even especially at the higher level. So the first camp thinks Treeville has no business being there. He's a 3-star, and I say he, it's a tree. Treeville is a 3-star and has extremely low stats compared to the other 5 stars. And of course, some people think there's no way that it belongs. And then there's another camp that says, well, his special is incredible and it definitely belongs there. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover both arguments very quickly and compare Treeville to some other heroes, so you get a better understanding of, how weak is he stats wise and how strong is that special of his. And then I'm going to get into the stats of what I've seen so far. So let's just get right to it. All right, so let's start with the stats. Here's Treeville. And if you were to put Treeville in and give him the best chance to survive, let's assume that Treeville is fully leveled, has maximum talents that are of defense and HP, to give him the highest chance to survive an attack, and limit broken. So these are the stats that you would get: 526 attack, 684 defense, and 1166 HP. Now, what exactly does that look like? Well, let's break down these stats. That 526 attack is going to be the same as Costume Dawa that has no talents and is not limit broken. So that's the attack, pretty low. The defense, 684, is roughly the same as Kalile, without a costume bonus, without talents, without limit broken. And then the HP is the same as Mireweave, without talents, without being limit broken. So take a look at these heroes. Would you bring any one of these to your war where it's filled with 5 stars? Probably not. Neither one of them is even known to be strong in their respective areas. This is what Treeville amounts to. All right. So we've got this, and now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the specials. So Treeville, obviously, yeah, 3-star, very slow. Deals 250 damage to all enemies. And for 6 turns, which is absolutely unheard of, and especially for 3 different effects, all enemies get minus 54% attack, all enemies get minus 56% defense, and all enemies get minus 44% mana generation. Wow. So already that's a lot of effects, and the duration of it is incredible, and the severity of it is also incredible. It is at the upper high end of what 5 stars will do. Here's an example of what this kind of amounts to. So Horg Hall, Custom Horg Hall has one of the best specials for giving an ailment on attack. It gives the same as Treeville, minus 54% for 6 turns. That's all equal. But look at this. Even Costume Horg Hall only deals 215% damage to all enemies. So Treeville already ahead of him. Next up, we have Ssnake, regular old Ssnake. She deals 235% damage, again, less than what Treeville does, and her effect is all enemies get minus 44% defense for 6 turns. Again, we got another match, but it is actually, it's not even a match because she's only doing minus 44. Treeville does minus 56. Does more damage on the special. I get it. The stats will balance that out, but nonetheless, and again, this is the all Ssnake does, where Treeville does others. And then let's look at that minus 44% mana generation, and that would be comparable to Feline. And she does a little bit more damage, but it's only to the target and nearby enemies. So I would say this evens out. Feline also has some other things there too, but the mana part, it's 44% generation is the ailment. And I've got it cut off here, but it's only for 3 turns. So it's a combination of these 3 heroes all into one. And again, these 3 heroes are at the top of their game as far as the severity of that ailment. So pretty darn stellar, I would say. Let's go check out the numbers. I know that's what you want to see now. So here we go. First column here is Treeville with. So these are different teams, defense teams that I've seen with Treeville. The second column is the survivability rate of what I observed so far. And then I gave you the average rush rate. This is the rate, that 34.1%, that's the rate for an average team in rush in that year-long war study that I did. And then on the right, I put average rate of the same type of formation. So I had to do a little bit of digging on some of these. Let's go through that first line. So with no revivers, survivability rate 33.8. It is average, just below average for a rush team. So an average rush team is going to do better than Treeville with no revivers. Let's just stick with that average rush rate for right now. And then we go down one. So 1 reviver on the wing, 22 cases of this so far. The survivability rate, 43.9%. It is well above the average rush team. And then I broke it down further. You've probably already scanned it ahead with your eyes. And it's because some people were bringing Gramps. They're trying to get cute and put 2 3-stars on there on those lineups. Okay. Anyways, there was 4 of them. But when it's a true 5-star reviver, 45.8% survivability rate. It is much higher than the rush average. But when it's Gramps, he comes down below. He's actually worse than with no revivers. I brought this one in because I want to make a point that Gramps is not the solution if you don't have Mother North, Heimdall, Alberic, these types of heroes. it is not the answer. It actually did worse. So I'll do another one on Gramps. This was just the ones that I noticed with Treeville in it. Maybe later, but for now, let's just put that one to bed. And then 2 revivers on the wings. So Treeville on a team with 2 revivers on the wings, 46.2%, well above an average rush team. What can we say about this? Well, if you have a legit reviver on the wing, then Treeville does extremely well compared to an average team. But if we look at that last column now, let's bring that into play. Average rate for the same formation. So, and this stat was never given in my rush one because I had to dig it up and calculate this one. But a team with no revivers, it doesn't mean no healers, just no revivers. It actually is average, but it doesn't do any better than an average team. Okay. With 1 reviver on the wing, actually doing better than the average team that we've seen in that last war study. Very well. And I'm going to talk about why that is in a moment. I'm not even going to talk about Gramps anymore. And then 2 revivers on the wings. It's actually a little bit less. There's only 2 occurrences though. It's still well above the average rush rate by a lot. Just a little bit. It's below, a formation that has 2 revivers on the wings in rush from previous data. Now, the reason I think that we're seeing what we're doing is because, yes, for both camps, Treeville is very weak. He is likely to get taken out with tiles very quickly. So let's just start with no revivers. And often he's in every one of these cases, actually, except for one where he was on the flank. He was at tank and he gets taken out, but those tiles still charge up that mana bar. He's dead, but he's charged. If you have no revivers to bring him back, then it's gone. It's done. You're not going to get that special out of him unless someone came in with a bad board and actually did charge him up. And I think that's why he actually makes it to average. But if there's a reviver, Treeville gets charged up. And then once he gets revived, that special fires. And that special is undoubtedly the best in the game. And he lets loose all hell. And especially the mana generation reduction for 6. It's all bad. It's all bad. It's a nuclear explosion. And then the rest of the team can chip away if there's still some standing. This is why he does well. He does well with the revivers. All right, what have we learned from this? If you're bringing Treeville to a war defense, even at the upper levels, make sure that you bring a reviver with you. You need that reviver to bring him back so that he can unleash all hell on the other team. Without those revivers, you may as well bring somebody else because there's a lot of heroes that are above average and a lot better than Treeville all alone. I hope that you found this video informative. I know that it was something that I really wanted to look into. I questioned it myself. The numbers really help make sense of it though. So anyways, until next time, I'm Ssnake and I'm here to help you defend yourself.